Hi, this is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle. We have another series of questions and answers. I get some good feedback on these, so we'll continue to do them as long as you enjoy learning a little bit about the fishing reels and having some of the more common or frequently asked questions answered online, so that even if you didn't ask it or didn't see a particular episode where that question was asked, you get the benefit of the answer and the knowledge and the opportunity to even ask more questions along the way. Well, we mostly dedicate the channel to showing you how to service and repair fishing reels, how to give them a second chance, hence the name. But this is kind of an ancillary piece, but it works all the same. So let's jump in. If you like these kinds of videos, I want to encourage you to subscribe to the channel. If you do subscribe, please use that notification button. I do appreciate you subscribing, and that notification button will help you to know when I'm posting, so that you can see what it is that I'm posting and whether you would like to watch it or not. There is an opportunity to view maybe just these questions if you like that sort of thing, or to watch them all. So use that notification button, it'll let you know. Let's get started. On a recent video, I did mention that there's IPX ratings out there, and I apparently mistakenly had said that the highest of the ratings is the IPX 7. So what is IPX to begin with? IPX stands for intrusion protection, and intrusion protection in the fishing reels means water intrusion getting inside the case, or another way of saying, is the reel waterproof, and to what degree is it waterproof? And intrusion protection, what's the X? The X is actually dust intrusion. That's important in things like bearings that are open and out on the market, if you will, maybe in industrial uses or that, but the X means it's not rated in fishing reels. Well, I said it was a 7, and let's just go quickly. A 6, generally speaking, means that you can get the reel splashed on and it won't get inside. I believe the actual test is 5 minutes with constant water pressure, like coming from a high velocity hose, and you will not find the water inside the case. 7 means that you can dunk the reel. So let's say you're a surf fisherman, you're out there casting all the time, and occasionally you get hit with a wave, and that wave takes the reel underwater. A 7 means that you can dunk the reel, I believe it's in 3 meters of water for 5 minutes. I may have that wrong. It may be 5 meters of water for 3 minutes. Regardless, it can be underwater for a short period of time and you will not get water intrusion. Well, I was informed that there is an IPX 8, and maybe it's just that I haven't seen it on a reel. If anybody knows a reel that's rated as an IPX 8, I would appreciate that. You let me know. We always learn from each other. The IPX 8, I believe, is a longer duration underwater. I believe it's 30 minutes underwater without water getting into the case. So there you go. I stand corrected. We stand informed, because now we know there is an IPX 8 reel rating as well. And again, if you know what that reel is, or any of the reels that have that 8 rating, just let me know. Thank you. All right, next one. Well, it's kind of along this line. It's not this reel. It says, I have a Penn Battle 2000. This one comes in from Paul. Paul says, I have a 2000. I have a gear that's making a little bit of noise. The main gear teeth appear to be a bit worn. Should I also replace the pinion gear when I am replacing the main gear? General best practices is to replace both of those. Get a match set, new, replace them. Why do you want to do that? Well, that one gear on the main gear, or the broken tooth, or whatever it is that's causing that particular grind, can have an effect, because, well, mostly that main gear is turning that pinion gear. And if that main gear gets out of line or gets sloppy, that can have an effect of dulling or breaking the teeth on the pinion gear. So if you're going to replace one, best practice is to go ahead and replace the two. I had another question come in. This one from, oh, I'm out of order, but that's okay. Let's go find the order here. This one's from Rick. Rick says he has a fishing reel where the line is jamming on the line roller and that he's got play back and forth on the line roller. He said, what can be the cause of it? Should I just simply add a washer to tighten up the line roller? Well, I think the first thing you need to do is to check to make sure that the screw that's holding the bail assembly and the line roller in place is tight before you start adding washers to take up the slack. But I wanted to use this question as something that's not as obvious. If you're using an older type of a reel, maybe even many of the newer reels on the lower end, and you're getting line caught on that roller, sometimes it's because you're using braided line on the reel, and the braided line is actually cutting a groove into that line roller. Happens all the time, and people don't examine it, don't take the time to look to see, is there damage on this line roller. A lot of times the line roller has bearings in it. This one has bearings on it. You can't see it spin. It has bearings on it, and of course it will roll and distribute the weight or the rub factor of the braided line coming in and coming out. But every now and then that thing gets stuck, it gets dirty, doesn't turn as smoothly as it should. And when it's in a stationary position particularly, constant use of a braided line in that groove is going to cut the groove, and well, it can get caught up, right? It's going to just be a narrow slot over time. It'll get caught in there, and you'll go to make a retrieve or something, all of a sudden it'll feel like it's sticky or pulling, and that's because the line is getting trapped there. So the short answer on this is always check your line roller, and if you have braided line, pay particular attention to that line roller. Make sure that it's not being cut as it wears over time. If it does, you're going to have to replace the line roller. There's no easy solution for a piece that's pulled out there. So pass that along to everybody who would like to know. Greg had sent me a note here. We had just done a video on catalogs. I had asked during a video, have you ever read a shop manual? Greg came back and said he doesn't have shop manuals for some of his reels because, well, he's purchased Japanese domestic reels, JDMs, and those only come in Japanese, and unfortunately he doesn't read Japanese. But some of the Shimano reels over there do show up on the website with translations. But he basically said, I personally like the old pen color catalogs from the late 70s, which included the reels and rods and everything. Too bad they don't have the MSRPs in there to get the inflation. What he's referring to are these. Well, this one's 1970s. This is from 2000. They actually made beautiful catalogs that they distributed, and they were quite the publications. Here's one here that, well, if you haven't read reels, we just did one on this. We actually serviced this reel. The Pen electronic LCD line counter reels. We had somebody that sent one of those in. I wish I could remember who. But you can just see the high quality graphics on that. And if you just wanted to get lost for the day, as he mentioned, you have the rods, you have the reels, you have the dating. It says 2000. So if you were wondering, gee, did they make that reel or that rod or whatever in that period of time, for example, that line counter, now you know that that line counter was being sold in 2000. So it's kind of a fun thing to look at, to enjoy. And here's the Prion. We haven't, I saw one or two of these Prion reels. And a lot of people say, did Penn ever make a reel called Prion? Well, it did, and it's in the 2000 catalog. So again, you kind of get lost in it, but thank you to Greg for reminding me that I had a few of these laying around out there, and that they really are beautiful pieces. Works of art, actually. If you wanted to, you probably could just take that off and frame that, hang it up in your shop or something. Okay. Now we're back on track. I had a note here. This one came in from Blue Train, and he noticed that a lot of times I have some places where it's hard to reach with cotton swabs. I do use a variety of them. I have, well, the traditional Q-tip I have. This one's a little dirty, but we'll share it anyway. Bill from Massachusetts had sent in a bunch of these. I got a couple that a medical friend of mine gave me after COVID. Said that they were just tossing the COVID supplies because nobody was coming in for them. cotton swabs. Well, this one says, have you tried, if your cotton swab needs to be a more angular or a smaller one, right? These are all kind of designed for ear and the like type of applications. He said there's a company out there, it's called Tamaya. I actually went on their website. It's a site that's got radio controlled cars, it's got model making in it, it's got other things. And it did want to point out that if you need the narrower cotton swab, it is available on this site. And it says well, you get 50 pieces for $6 if that's something that you're interested in. Tamaya is just a quick website search, and it's Tamaya. Well, I got one more here that I thought was interesting. We try to pass along tips and techniques and sometimes guides for the like. And apparently these days, one of the hottest things on the marketplace now is pink braided fishing line. Well, I haven't fished it, saw the story, thought I would take a look at it, why more anglers are making the switch. And it is interesting. I think being old school or old OG, original kind of situations, you just kind of think monofilament line, and even if you get to the braided line, maybe you're just thinking the green line or the blue line or the like, and maybe you're shying away from the yellows and the pinks and the other colors of the line. And as it turns out, the pink line phenomenon or fad or discovery process, if you will, actually makes a lot of sense, particularly when you're putting a leader on there of about 10 or 12 feet. But anytime you're sight fishing line, that is, maybe you're not using a cork or whatever, but you have a floating line out on the water, and you're watching that line for movement, the pink line is especially visible. And if you have the clear fluorocarbon or whatever type of leader you're using below where the fish are, you don't need to worry about seeing it, and it's actually quite an advantage to you doing the sight fishing. The other point that they made is that it's particularly good in murky water. A lot of times you think, you lose sight of it in the muddied up waters and the like, and pink works. So anybody interested in that, do some internet research. If you've got it on your reel and are fishing it, I'd like to know your opinions of it. This is, it's kind of a lengthy article. I'm going to take the time to read it, maybe do a little bit more on a future episode of questions and answers. Well, I hope you've enjoyed that little segment. If you did, please like it. If you have other things to contribute, maybe you know who that IPX8 reel is. Maybe you've had the experience with the pink braided line. Maybe you have other catalogs from Penn. Whatever it is, just leave those in the comment section, and we'll try to share that with the community as well. Before I leave, I want to thank our first responders, our police, fire, safety, rescue, EMTs, everybody that keeps us out of harm's way. Appreciate what you do. I want to thank you for watching, for contributing, for asking your questions, and for helping everybody to learn. This is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle, wishing everybody a great day.